Hi guys, welcome back to another video. We have a special guest with us today. So we are going to be talking about Airbnb versus hotel. He said he wanted to do the hotel, so I guess I'm stuck with the Airbnb. So if that is something you're interested in, then stay tuned.
Well, I never really chose the hotel. I think it was one day when she was asking me which would I rather, because the time was coming up where we could have choose an Airbnb or a hotel, and I chose a hotel. You know, in my head it sounded like it made a lot more sense, especially when you're looking at the price points and what you're gonna be getting to offer. So therefore, that's how I ended up on team hotel, while she ended up on team Airbnb. Right, so looking at the prices, I think she was looking up some stuff because Alex knows where the deals are, knows what to look for. So she looks at the Airbnb prices and we contrast and compare. And lots of them, of course, they have the untagged price where you see for like the $85 a night, but that doesn't include the cleaning fee and the service charge and all that stuff, right? You don't see that until you actually check out. So when you check out and you see the big price tag and you look at that and you look at what's on probably Gustavus, for example, then you realize that it's like between $200 to $400. Give or take. Maximum I've seen is probably $400 more than the Airbnb when they're paying for a hotel experience. When you go to a hotel, it's all inclusive. You get all the perks of the services, and you have the butlers, you have the all you can eat, you have the endless cocktails, all you can drink, you have the pool access. Everybody that goes there is in the mindset of vacation. Whereas in the Airbnb setting, you have people who live here that are in the same space as you. So therefore, you're coming to the Airbnb with a vacation mindset, home away from home mindset, whereas these people are just like, okay, here's another one over again. What are they gonna be doing here? Yeah, so you get the complete experience, I believe, if you can put on a little bit extra money, or you can the hotel versus the Airbnb. So that's why I chose the hotel experience. I am definitely an introverted person. When you go to a hotel, you go to a pool, you're not going to the pool, you don't get the pool to yourself. Yeah. You're sharing, people are looking at you. In most cases, you're profiling, they're profiling you. You're not gonna just go there in any sort of dress. I mean, unless you really just don't care, then fine. But most persons, they're gonna still put on makeup, they're gonna still put on their
and they're gonna go to take pictures.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Chances are by the pool, they're having activities. Right. They're always having some kind of.
And then someone's gonna pick on you, like, you look like you could do so. You look like you could dance. Come on, just that, And
then everybody's looking at you, and you feel that way to have to go. Oh, Jesus.
And then, especially in the hotels, I mean, again, hotels are like apartments, because especially if it's packed, you're gonna hear the persons down the hallway, especially if you're with the kiddies. You're gonna hear the kiddies. You're gonna hear somebody banging on the walls, maybe in the nighttime. Maybe somebody turns up the music. You might, and if you're the kind of person that doesn't want to take part in the events and stuff like that, the parties or the stuff by the poolside, but your hotel room is in the vicinity of that place, then best believe by evening time, when you're trying to sleep, when you're trying to do your own thing, all you're gonna hear is them outside having fun, going crazy and all that stuff. You're not gonna get any peace and quiet until that event is done.
But for the Airbnb, you want like the secluded by yourself. If you bring your friends, you might stay at a villa. It doesn't really have to be an apartment. So you can stay at the villa and say, okay, you're not going to be overcrowded with people, everybody and them dog in the pool, and everybody and them dog at the at the restaurant. So I think the Airbnb kind of suits the persons who like the whole just bring your friends and whatever the heck you want for the weekend or for the week, and then go about your business, go back to your work and go back to your host.
Yes. Okay, so maybe I should have went and said, okay, there are different types of Airbnbs, because obviously I would say Airbnb is anywhere that somebody is willing to pay for to stay temporarily for a given period of time. It could be an apartment, it could be a room in somebody's house. That could be an Airbnb. It could be literally like a couch in our house, in a room. That's all you're entitled to as an Airbnb. Or it could be a villa in the middle of nowhere. You know, all the way over in St. I'm on the North Coast or in the middle of Portland somewhere, right? So yeah, where that's if you're comparing the high end, because I call it high end type of Airbnbs, and yeah, that's when you're looking at, okay, yeah, maybe a hotel is a little bit in the second stage where you're talking about that case. If you can afford the food, you can afford the traveling, and you have your good friends who can actually, and especially for persons like me, I'm more likely not gonna just stay at the villa, especially if it's in Portland or St. Anne or North Coast. We're gonna go to a beach. We're gonna go somewhere during the daytime. We're gonna do some sort of road trip during the time, unless the villa is just that great
with butler.
Yeah, like that you just can't leave. Everything is just to die for. Then
but
maybe
you kind of pay to die for price.
Then maybe I'll stay there. I'll just stay there for the entire trip, no problem. I think one villa, it had everything. It had the pool. It had the nice escape experience. So that was great. And
it was in the middle of nowhere. So it was like,
And then there's this other villa by Duncan's, I think it had its own, it had its own pool, and then it had a private beach. So yeah, there's no need to leave there, right? The only time I left was actually just to get food, you know, and that was about it. Right, so if you're talking about, like again, like I said, like if you're talking about the high-end villas, then fine, right? Maybe, just maybe.
If you are bringing a group, like the only times you can really meet up is the restaurant, swim at the pool, or then you're going to have to pay more money to get like the swim out pool or the little extraness to facilitate your friends like hanging out with you after hours. Like if you want to play a board game or a drinking game or something, it's going to be kind of awkward to have them in your bedroom because it's like probably one bed and the whole that you pack up on it. Like if that's your cup of tea, fine. But Airbnbs kind of facilitate you to actually have
your friends in your roommate setting. You go to these places and you're like, okay, maybe let's check out the price. And then you don't need to hear the rest of whatever they said. You just said US, right? Once you say US, and you're just like, okay, yeah, I can't afford that. The problem with that is that we're in Jamaica, we don't get paid. Most people, not gonna say all, don't get paid in USD, right? We get paid in JMD, and JMD is always sliding compared to the USD. So as much as you can afford it this month and maybe for the next 6 months, who knows if you will be able to afford it if you'll be living here in the next 3 years, comparing to what you're making versus the flat rate of whatever USD they're asking for. And then that's not even to say that, you know, they're more likely subject to the renting laws, which means that they can raise the rent over time. They're allowed to raise it 7% per year, 7.25% per year. And that's in USD. So that goes up and your pay stays the same.
Exactly, like it's more catered to like travelers coming down.
Comparing the hotels to these places, I would have to say it's just merely out of convenience. It's like half the price of any hotel that you're going to. You don't have to travel all the way down North Coast Highway and all the way back down to Mobay just for it. And you literally do get this sort of villa-like-esque experience. You actually get to look and see what these apartment complexes look like from the inside. Because never in a million years would you rent this place.
What's happening over here?
Exactly.